We're going to get started here at the top of our mats in mountain pose Tadasana. Do you guys want the fans on? Okay. All right. Toes together, heels slightly apart. Go ahead, lengthen through the tailbone. Draw the pelvic floor up, belly button in. This is going to help you to stand up a little taller. It also helps to isolate your pelvic floor to start to strengthen it, and it will take some pressure off your low back. Go ahead and draw those shoulders down and away from your ears, squeezing that space between and kind of below your shoulder blades. Palms are at your side, nice and relaxed, and the top of your head is reaching up high. If at any point in time you start to get winded, out of breath, tired, you can always come back to this mountain pose, or you can lay down and rest. This is a yoga practice. It's supposed to feel good. So if it doesn't feel good, then don't do it, right? So we're going to go ahead and get started with a warm-up with sun salutations. Inhale, bring your hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Move through your vinyasa. A vinyasa is high plank down to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to be here for 3 to 5 of your breaths. One more. Inhale, look between those hands. Exhale it all out. Come forward. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your side, mountain pose. Inhale, let's come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, take your vinyasa. If at any time you get too tired to do these yogi push-ups, you can skip them. You can hang out in a plank pose. You can go straight to down dog. You can do what you feel like doing. If you're feeling super froggy and you want to do like 5 push-ups, go for it. More power to you, man. Sun salutations are great ways to warm up all the major muscle groups of the body. Just make sure your belly stays nice and tucked. Your gaze is either in between your knees or towards your belly button. One more breath. Inhale, look between those hands. Exhale it all out, come forward. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your side, mountain pose. Good job. We're going to do that again. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, move through your vinyasa. If you're still feeling like you want some movement, walking the dog is okay. I don't typically walk the dog too terribly much, but if that feels good for you, then you do you. One more breath. Inhale, look between those hands. Exhale, come forward. Half lift, inhale. And fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your side, mountain pose. Now we're going to go through Sun B. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Stay here on the exhale. Think about sucking the belly in, lengthening down through the tailbone. Your hands can be here at heart center if your heartbeat's starting to go a little crazy, or they can be reaching up and overhead. We're going to do this one more breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands in vinyasa. We're going to plant that left heel down, bring that right foot forward, come into your warrior one. Left toes facing the front left corner of the mat. That right knee is bent a whole bunch. You want to think about squaring your left shoulder off to the front and your left hip off to the front. Gaze is at the fingertips if that feels okay. One more breath. Exhale, vinyasa. That's the high plank, low plank action through your upward facing dog and then downward facing dog. We're going to plant that right heel down, bring the left foot forward, come to your warrior one on the left. Same cues here. You're wanting to square yourself off towards the front and keep that left knee strong and bent. One more. Vinyasa. Catch your breath here. One more breath. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhale it all out. Come forward. Half lift for that next inhale. And fold. Inhaling, chair pose. One more. Samasthiti here, mountain pose. Beautiful. Let's move through one more sun salutation B. We're going to go a little faster to get the heart rate up just a bit. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, vinyasa. Next inhale brings that right foot forward, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. That's that low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right heel plants, left foot forward, warrior one. Plant the hands, vinyasa. Catch your breath here. One more. Inhale, let's bring that right foot forward. Join me in crescent lunge. This time your heel is up. We're going to sink down really low into this lunge and try to hover the left knee, building massive strength in the right glute, openness in that left hip flexor. Anytime your hands are above your head, that makes your heart work a little bit more. For 3, 2, 1. Plant that left hand down, reach that right hand up. Low lunge twist. If at any time this is too hard, plant that left knee down on the mat. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Bring that right hand inside the right foot. Seal that left heel off. Bring the left hand up. Here we are in a really, really, really low. This is like a Bikram triangle / awesome hip opener. For 3, 2, 1. Look at those right big toes. Suck the belly in a whole bunch. Join me in a warrior 2. Gazing over those right fingertips. 1 more breath. Peaceful warrior. Take that left hand down your left thigh. Right hand reaches in the opposite direction of that right knee. If you want to take your left hand to your right inner thigh, go for it. 1 more breath. Inhaling back to warrior 2. Exhale, windmill those hands down, vinyasa. Let's do that on the other side. Left foot comes forward, crescent lunge. If balance is a challenge, because it always is, take your feet a little wider like on railroad tracks. We're going to take this down to a super low hover. Bend the left knee more, take the knee down, that right knee down as low as you can. Remember, hands up high is harder. Hands at your heart center is not as hard. Hands behind you is as easy as it can get in this super challenging glute strength building pose. One more breath. Exhale, plant that right hand down. Left hand comes up. I'm going to call this our active recovery. Energy shoots out that right heel. You're going to find that helps you to straighten the right leg, maybe stretch the right hip flexor. One more breath. Take that left hand down inside the right hand and left foot. Right heel plants parallel to the back of the mat. Lift that right hand up. Twisting this out. You should feel this in your left inner thigh, no? Unless you're super, super stretchy. Bring that left knee to the outside of that left shoulder. Suck the belly in. Lengthen the tailbone down. Use your core as you pull yourself up. Warrior two. Sink into that left knee. It's getting tired, but it's early yet. We're going to take that right hand down the right thigh. Bring the left hand up. Peaceful warrior. You can do the bind with your right hand. One more. Come back to warrior two. And then vinyasa. So that's the basic premise of our flow today. We're just going to build onto it from there. Go ahead and catch your breath. One more. Inhale, look between those hands. Maybe shimmy your hands up together just a little bit, and we're going to froggy jump forward and backwards 3 times just to get the heart rates up. So I'm going to bend my knees a whole bunch, shoot my bottom into the air, land the feet. Then we're going to go back. It's almost like yogi burpees. Forward, trying to slow things down, backwards. One more, forward. Onto the outside of the left leg, bring the right hand up, gazing at the right hand. It's a nice, gentle twist with a hip opener. There may be a theme about hip opening. This one's for you, Ivany. Bring that right hand down. Let's lift that left hand up. If you're practicing crow, come on out. We're going to bring both hands down to the mat to reset. Knees pressing out, glutes squeezing together a whole bunch. Use your glutes, not your back, as you come up to standing. Shake it out. We're going to come into a chair pose again. Inhale, sit low, reach high. Next inhale brings your hands to your heart center. Left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Check in with your knees. Make sure they're in line. Check in with your toes. Make sure they're in line. We don't want our bottoms going off to the left too much. We want them to go straight back. Now look down at that right big toe. Think to yourself, I can do this. That's the key. Pick up that left heel, bring it towards your bottom. See if you can channel your flamingo before shooting it back into a revolved crescent lunge. Balance challenge. Nice, guys. Looking down at that right big toe should help steady you some. One more breath. Inhaling, back to crescent lunge. Nice. Hover that left knee. Just for 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to come back to crescent lunge, warrior 2. Inhaling, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Right elbow to that right thigh, left hand reaches forward. Your gaze is to where the fingertips are, reaching forward, not just up. Sink into that right knee a little bit more. We're not quite done with that right leg. So let's look down at that right big toe. We're going to have another big self-pep talk. we're going to lift ourselves off and end up in a half moon pose. So you're reaching your right hand forward and in front of that right foot. Left foot's pressing it into an imaginary wall behind you. Left hand is reaching for an imaginary rope at the ceiling. Balance is so stinking hard, but we can do this. Maybe you think about playing with your balance and lifting that right hand for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, plant both hands down, standing splits. Hallelujah. A little bit more active recovery. This is my favorite exercise ever. Let's do it. Bend the left knee, bring that left heel towards your bottom. Then we're going to do the curtsy lunge. Left knee behind right knee, sink it down low for 5, up, 4, up. Good job. 3, up, 2, up. And 1, holding it here for 5. Maybe you play with bringing your hands to your heart center. 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant the hands. Lift the left leg right back up. Set it down. Say a prayer. Shake it out. Hallelujah. Woo. Now we're going to grab big toes. Padagustasana. Take your feet about hips width distance apart. Grab hold of them with your big first and second fingers. Pull yourself down. You guys okay? I got one nod. I'm taking it. Catching your breath here. One more. All good things must be done to both sides. So let's roll ourselves up and come to a mountain pose. Toes together, heels slightly apart. Let's sit into chair pose. Sink low, reach high. Somebody mentioned in passing doing a wall sit challenge. Have you ever done that? Like a wall sit challenge? Those are like hell. I remember in kindergarten and first grade, I believe we had a PE teacher that would punish us with wall sits. Let's bring our hands to our heart center. Pretend you're in kindergarten and you talk too much, which may have been my problem. Sit a little lower and twist this out. Right elbow to the outside of that left thigh. Check your alignment. Sink a little lower. One more. Look at that left big toe. Tell yourself you can do this. One side's going to be easier than the other. Bring that right heel to your bottom. And then shoot it back. Revolved crescent lunge. Look down at that left big toe for stability. Pull yourself back up. Crescent lunge. And then warrior 2. Sink into that left knee. It knows what's coming, so it likes to be lazy. But we're not lazy. Peaceful warrior. Not today. Extended side angle. Left elbow to that left thigh. Right hand reaching up and forward. Your one long line of energy from the outside of that right foot all the way through the right fingertips. Look down at those left big toes. Give yourself a pep talk. Kick yourself off. Left hand's reaching in front of and just outside of the left foot. If you have a block, you can use it. But as you can see, you don't have to have the block. But I also have short legs and a long torso. Maybe play with getting really light in the fingertips. Balancing here for 3. Use your butt cheeks. 2. Right foot's really pressing into that wall. 1. Plant those hands down, standing splits. Active recovery here. We have 5 of those little curtsy lunges. So let's bring the right heel to your butt cheek. And then we're going to curtsy it down for 5. Up. 4. Up. 3. 2. And 1. And now we're going to hold this here for 5. Maybe bring your hands to your heart center. 4. 3. 2. 1. Plant the hands. Hallelujah. Standing splits. Then bring the right foot down. Shake it out. You should feel that in your butt cheeks. Let's do Padahastasana. So if you want, you can come back and grab your toes for Padagustasana. If you want to take it up a notch, take your hands underneath your feet. Take the toes all the way to the wrist. Give your wrist a massage. Put a little bit more weight into the toes as you pull yourself down. Relax the neck. Beautiful. Releasing your hands here. We're going to bend the knees, slowly roll up. One vertebra at a time. You guys feeling okay? Let's do a balanced posture. We're going to do Vrikshasana tree pose. So we have options. Take your right foot, ground it down. If you can, maybe you try to separate those toes and really ground yourself down. We're going to take that left foot. We're going to kickstand it, calf, or high up onto the inner thigh, as high as you can get it. Now, think about that pelvic floor, tailbone down, pelvic floor squeezing, belly in. Hands at your heart center. Good job. Balance is a challenge, and it continues to be so every day of your life. That's why we like to work it. Work it. Okay, take the left leg down and do this on the other side. We're going to kickstand that right foot, but first, if you can, spread the toes. Really get the foot nice and active. Then you're going to take that right foot, kickstand, calf, or high onto the inner thigh. Remember to keep your core strong. Strong core equals strong balance. All right, let's release it. Y'all are balanced rock stars today. Let's do some more balance to continue our flow. Inhale, we're going to bring that left knee up, or you're going to grab the left big toe. Utthita Hasta Padangustasana. Remember this as we let it go. Holding it up here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, shift it back, coming into your airplane pose. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ground that left foot down at the back of the mat. Warrior 1. We're going to straighten that right leg, forward fold over that right foot. Pyramid pose. Threw that one off. We never do it this way. Enjoy the stretch. We're going to take that left hand, plant it down on the inside or the outside of that right foot. Take your right hand to your hips. Try to see if your hips are square. Pull the right hip away from you as you reach the right hand up to the sky, revolving our triangle. Gaze is to those right fingertips. Sometimes if you tuck your chin a little bit, you might be able to get the neck a little bit more turned. One more breath. We're going to look down into those right toes, bend the right knee ever so slightly, windmill your hands up, warrior 2. Straighten the right leg, triangle pose. Right hammy. Last one. Now we're going to go for a skandasana at the back of the mat. Deep low lunge to the back of the mat. Holding it here. Really getting into that right thigh, right inner thigh, right hammy. Now we're going to move back to warrior 2 on the right. Warrior 2. I'm going to turn so you can see me a little better. Skandasana. To the back. Warrior 2. Skandasana, moving through those hips. Warrior 2. Move with your breath. 2 more. If that left heel comes up, that's all right. It's a matter of how open your hips and your Achilles are. We're going to go back to our Skandasana hold. We're going to plant our hands on either side of that right leg. You can stay up on the foot of the left, or you can bring your bottom down. Yogi's choice. This is core hip flexor strength. So if you sit down, it's usually a little bit easier. If you're up on your toes, it's a little bit harder. Let's look at those right big toes. The closer your feet are leaning in, it's a little more difficult. Leaning back is a little less difficult. We're going to look at those toes and lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, or not, 1. Plant that right foot, warrior 2. I got a resounding negative on that one. And then peaceful warrior. Windmill those hands down. Take your vinyasa. I'm turning back around. Inhaling to high plank. We're going to let the legs rest for and downward facing dog. Aren't you glad I didn't say dolphin push-ups? Look between those hands. If you want, you can froggy jump up and back a few times, or you can just go straight to your malasana. Yogi's choice. The goal is to try to slow things down a bit. Here we are again. Squeeze the glutes as we push the knees out. Come to standing. Shake it out. Other side. We have to do both sides or we walk in circles. So ground down a whole bunch in that left foot. Remember to take up space in the all of the toes. We're going to either grab the right knee or the right big toe. Left hand is on your waist. Usually that helps to make sure your core is engaged. Let go of that right toe and hold it up here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, shift it back, airplane pose. I like to bring my hands to my hips to check in that they're square before releasing. Warrior 1. Slow and controlled. Nice job, guys. Straighten that left leg. Little bitty break for that left foot. Left leg pyramid pose. Try not to lock your left knee. We're going to plant that right hand down on the inside. Ultimately, it'll be the outside of that left foot. Take your left hand to your hips and check to make sure your hips are square before reaching that left hand up, palm away from the body. Tuck the chin just a little bit to see if you can look out the left corner of your eye and see those left hands. Looking down at those right big toes, windmill yourself up to a warrior 2. Straighten that left leg, shift the hips back, bring the hands forward, coming into your triangle pose. Try not to lock your left knee. It's really easy to do. If you can grab hold of your left big toe. Not necessary. If you're really open, you can maybe even plant your hand on the outside of the foot. More important here is you're getting a nice stretch along your legs and your core is able to stay engaged. We're going to pull ourselves up. Warrior 2. Skandasana to the back. Deep low lunge to the back. Enjoy this squat because we've got to come back here 5 times. Push down into the right heel. Warrior 2. Skandasana. Warrior 2. Skandasana. Moving with your breath through 5 of these. I'm a horrible counter. After your 5th one, you get down here and you hang out. Really moving through the full range of motion into those hips. Stretching out the left inner thigh. Now we've got the core work and the hip flexor work. Remember, you can sit down on your bottom. Try that if you weren't able to lift it the last time. It's a little bit easier if you sit down on your bottom. Plant your hands on either side of that left foot. And if your left foot comes in some, that's okay too. That's a matter of how open you are. Look at that left foot. Tell yourself, I can do this. And lift. Nice. Lean into it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is building nice compression muscles so that you can float up in your handstands one day. Let's pull yourself up. Before we take our vinyasa, we're going to come up to a 5-pointed star and stretch this out. Prasarita Padottanasana. Feet are wide, hands are on the mat, maybe forearms are on the mat. Enjoy a nice stretch along the inner thighs. Slowly bend those knees, rolling yourself up. Let's do a goddess pose because we can. Toes out, heels in, sit low. Sometimes this is also called horse pose. You can do goalpost arms, sink your bottom down, keep your belly strong. And if you want, you can do pulses, or you can just hold this statically. I kind of prefer to hold it statically, which probably means I need to do pulses. Going to hold it here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten everything. Turn towards the front. Windmill those hands down. Move through your vinyasa. One more breath. Let's come back to our plank because we love it. Now we're going to come down to the left forearm. Come down to the right forearm. Walk your feet up, bottoms in the air, dolphin pose. Looking forward ever so slightly, but don't crick your neck. Try to come forward and kiss your hands for 10, 9, 8. Keep your belly in. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Catherine, our Tuesday, Thursday flow and hit teacher, calls these something that I can't say and keep this PG-13. So we're going to call them oh my craps. Look at your hands. Plant those fingertips really, really wide. Shoot all of your energy into your thumb and your pointer finger and lift to your downward dog. Yes. Nice, Deborah. Nice. Good job, guys. That's total upper body strength and mobility, which is why it's awesome. Let's see if we can link all these postures together. Bring that right foot forward, crescent lunge. Sink it down really low into that low crescent lunge. Hover in that left knee. Plant that left hand, twisting it out. You're looking at me like, will she be able to remember all this? I'm really not sure. Look at that right big toe. Maybe you pick up the right big toe. I'm adding a little bit in. You're going to seal off the back foot on the outside. Pick up the right foot, side plank. Maybe if you can't hold the right foot, that's okay. Holding it here for 5. Good. 4. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Plant your right hand. Maybe keep your right foot up in the air. Do your chaturanga. And then push up. Downward facing dog. Nice, guys. Bring that right foot forward. Plant that left heel down. Warrior 1. Nice. Straighten the right leg. Pyramid pose. Left hand plants on the inside or the outside of that right foot. Revolve in that triangle. One more. Bend that right knee. Opening up warrior 2. Straighten the right leg. Triangle pose. I'm mixing it a little bit. Bend that right knee a little bit. Push yourself off, half moon. Standing splits. 5 curtsy lunges. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing splits. Bring that left foot down to meet right. Go right into your chair pose. Hands to your heart center. Twist it out to the right. Left elbow to the outside of that right thigh. Pick up the left foot. Shift it back. Revolved crescent lunge. Back to your crescent lunge. And vinyasa. Let's see if I can remember that. Or some version of that. Let's rest first. Active recovery coming down to those forearms. Join me in more dolphin push-ups maybe, or you can do a static hold for 10. 9, remember the higher your hips are, the harder this is. 7, 6, you can pick up a foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant the feet. Let's hear it for an oh my crap. Oh crap. Lift. Nice. Left foot comes forward. Crescent lunge. Hover that right knee. Hence, right hand down, left hand down. I almost mixed ourselves up. Skipping our side plank. Now, if at any point this is a little too difficult, bring that right knee down and transition to side plank with your right knee down. If you want to journey with me, pick up that left toe with your pointer fingers and have your thumb wrapped around it. Right heel seals off at the back of the mat. Lift that left foot up, side plank. If you can't hold the left foot, that's okay. You can let it go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant that left hand. See if you can hold the left foot up. 1 chaturanga push-up. Downward facing dog. Y'all are so strong. All right, let's do this. Left foot forward. Right heel plants. Warrior 1. Straighten that left leg. Pyramid pose. Right hand stays planted, left hand comes up, revolve triangle. Bend the right knee, windmill yourself up, warrior 2. Straighten the left leg, shift the hips back, bring the hands forward, triangle pose. Look down at those left big toes. Tell yourself you can do this as you transition through half moon. Plant the hands, curtsy lunges for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that right foot down, come into your chair pose. Hands to your heart center. Right elbow to the outside of that left knee. Look at those left big toes. Tell yourself you can do this. You're on the tail end of this sequence. Pick that right foot up. Shift it back. Revolved. Crescent lunge. And then come up to your crescent lunge. And then we're going to vinyasa. Out of this. Ooh, hallelujah. The standings part of this class is done. Look between those hands, walk, step, float through to a seated position. Nice. Remove the flesh. Forward fold. Nice Paschimottanasana. Coming up, let's plant those hands behind us, fingertips forward. Reverse tabletop. You can bend the knees about feet hips width distance apart. Bring your hips up to match your shoulders, or you can keep your toes together, heels apart. Reverse tabletop with straight legs. Squeeze the butt cheeks for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it all down. Bring your hands on either side of your knees. We're going to try those compression leg lifts one more time. 5 on each side. Try to lean into it, not away from it. That gets these other core muscles involved. We want to keep it down low and with hip flexors. Closer your hands are to the feet, the harder this is. So let's do this 5 on each side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Y'all feel that? It's pretty awesome. Other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. You want to try both legs at one time? Maybe just 3? Let's see if we can do So then lean back some if you want to and get the other core muscles involved. You ready? Let's try for 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hallelujah. That gets us out of one set of boat poses. So bring your feet. We love core. Yes, we do. All right, so boat number 1, your feet are planted. Hands are on either side. Chest is proud like Thor was watching. I would sit up taller if he was watching. All right, boat number 1, 1.5, 2, straight legs is boat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees into your chest. Let go of them. Use your core to hold them for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to boat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees to chest. 5, 4, 3, 3. All right, last boat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees into your chest. Give them a break. Hallelujah. All right, good job, guys. Let's bring those feet together, knees apart. Get back to our hip opening. This is called Baddha Konasana or cobbler's pose. You want to open your feet up like a book. If your knees are up in the air, that's okay. You can use your elbows to help push them down. If you're super mobile like me, then the way you intensify this is you lean forward. If you have a little bit more tightness in the inner thighs and your knees are up like that, that's okay. Use your elbows to push them down. Say a little bit of prayer. They will relax one day. Inhale coming up. Let's take those legs out wide. Same type of stretch, forward fold. Getting into those hips. I hope you see this, Ivany. We're going to walk our hands over towards the right. Try to square yourself off over that right leg if you can, and then fold over that right leg. You should feel a nice stretch along this left side body. Try to keep both of your sits bones on the mat. And if you're hanging out up high, totally okay. Walk those hands towards the center, over towards the left. You're going to find that one side is tighter than the other. That's totally normal. Asymmetry is in every single body. And if you have a home practice, that's where it gets to be really beautiful and therapeutic for you because you can hang out on the tighter side a little longer. And that's where the yoga magic really happens. Inhale, bring those bodies up. Bring those feet together. Give them a squeeze. Now we're going to come. Y'all want to go into twist to finish up, or do you want to pigeon first? Twist. All right. So let's get some twists going on. We're going to take that left leg out, right leg over it. Left elbow to the outside of that right thigh. Gaze over those right shoulders. You may have to get anatomy out of the way. I like to joke and say yoga was created by men, for men, and men don't have the same anatomy that women do. So honor that. Let's come on out of this. Do that on the other side. Sometimes, like if I had a big lunch or if I'm just feeling bloated, I'll lean back to get my elbow onto the outside of that left foot, and that helps me to deepen the twist a little bit. Always make sure your belly is sucked in as you come into these twists. Try to look out the far left corner of your eye here as we twist towards the left. coming back. Let's take that right foot, cross it over the left in a figure 4. Forward fold. This is a modification of Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. It helps to stretch out the outside of your right butt cheek, similar to the pigeon pose. Make sure your right ankle is protected. So we don't want to have our foot all cattywampus like this. So try to get that ankle supported. And only lean as far forward as you can while being able to breathe. Breathing's kind of important. Just kind of. Y'all feeling this in the outside of your right butt cheeks? No? Oh, and your hammies? Because your hammies are tight. Let's do this on the other side. We're going to prep for double pigeon before closing up. Come on up. Now we're going to slide that right foot under the left. Try to have that right shin parallel to the top of your mat. Bring your left shin parallel and stack it on top. Try to have your left ankle supported by your right knee. You may have to sit up on a block or several bolsters. Now you feeling this in the outside of your butt cheeks? To deepen this, you lean forward. Or you just hang out here and pray. You can sit on a block. Some people can like fall asleep like this, and then other people are like shooting arrows at me through the camera. I sit like this at home, so it's not a big deal, and my kids are now sitting like this, but my husband like grimaces. Let's do this on the other side. So now we're going to put the left foot on the bottom, right foot on the top. Remember, you can stay sitting up. If you're seeking more sensation, you can lean into it. All right, we're going to come up. Let's try to do 3 back bends. Yogi's choice. You can do bridges, camel, a full wheel. It's not a yoga class without a little bit of a back bend. So even just hanging out and channeling your inner Jane Fonda with a bridge pose, that will count as a back bend. To do a bridge pose, you make sure to bend your knees, bring your heels close enough to where you can touch them. Don't have tons of space between the knees. So if you have a block, squeeze the block with your knees and then lift and hold for at least 5 counts. Keep your chin up. There's a natural curve in your neck, and let's make sure that that stays there. 1 breath between each back bend, and then go right back up for another 5. Last one. After your back bends, come all the way down, bring your knees into your chest, give them a squeeze, and then make sure that you end your practice with some sort of legs above your heart. So you can do waterfall just like I'm doing right now, or you can come into a shoulder stand. I'm not going to demonstrate that. Just Bring your legs up. It'll do a couple of things, namely flush the lactic acid out of your system. So yoga sore is awesome. I love being yoga sore, but if I can flush some of that lactic acid and not be quite as sore, that's ideal, right? Hanging out here for at least 10 of your breaths to help calm you down. Now is also a really great time to practice maybe going upside down, doing a headstand if you'd like to. Headstands can be invigorating. It can help. It can be like a cup of coffee. I don't know why people say that because nothing is like a cup of coffee in my book, but it does make you feel better. Make sure that you finish your practice with at least a couple of minutes laying in a Shavasana pose. That's that final resting pose where you're laying on your back, eyes are closed, and really sealing in the benefits of your yoga practice. I'm going to go ahead and cut things off here so that you can enjoy your Shavasana. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Jennifer Dixon. I am with Thrive Yoga and Wellness. I hope you had a good time practicing with me this afternoon. And don't forget that even though we are basically on shutdown, Thrive Yoga and Wellness, we are still open. And if you're not comfortable coming out and about, we will be streaming several of our classes online all this week and into next week, so you don't have to miss out on your favorite yoga practice. Thanks again for watching, you guys. Make sure you check us out at thriveyogaandwellness.com. I can't wait to see you in studio or online soon. Take care. Bye-bye.